War II was the largest armed conflict in human history. It involved countries from 6 continents, including the United States of America. America entered the war after Japan bombed Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. A year earlier, prior to America's entrance into the war, a group led by movie producer Leland Hayward and test pilot Jack Connolly won a federal government contract to build airfields around Metro Phoenix to train U.S. Army Air Force pilots. Some of Hollywood's biggest names were investors. In June of 1942, their company, Southwest Airlines, established Thunderbird Field 2 north of Scottsdale. Hollywood photographer and pilot John Swope served as its field manager. As training ensued, 20 new buildings were built south of the landing runway areas. In support of daily operations, these buildings included classrooms, hangars, a control tower, cadet dorms, and more, which transformed Thunderbird Field 2 from an isolated desert to one of the world's largest pilot training centers, occupying around 720 acres of untouched desert. Thunderbird Field 2 trained 5,500 aviation cadets during its 2.5 years of operation. Pilots flew nearly 26 million miles, which equals more than 3,000 times around the world's equator. At peak of operation, 615 Thunderbird Field 2 cadets flew on average of 2 hours a day. By August 4, 1944, only 40 of the original 64 pilot training centers were still in operation. After T2 closed in October of 1944, it was turned over to the federal government for disposition. About a year later, Japan surrendered and the war ended. Many T-Bird 2 cadets settled in Scottsdale, creating a population and business boom. In 1947, Arizona State College began operating a technical trade school in the hangars and classrooms formerly used by the aviation cadets. In 1953, the Arizona Conference Seventh-day Adventists assumed ownership of T2 from the federal government. The conference moved its Thunderbird Adventist Academy to the site. Then in 1967, what was formerly known as T-Bird 2 became Scottsdale Airport, one of the busiest single runway facilities in the nation, as a tribute to its founding as Thunderbird Field No. 2. The centerpiece of their new Aviation Business Center is on display, a vintage German PT-17 aircraft, like those flown by aviation cadets here in the 1940s. It was flown to Scottsdale, Arizona in April of 2017 and is a project for the nonprofit Thunderbird Field 2 Veterans Memorial Incorporated.